Hello, in this video I'm going to be talking about LM Studio. It is a free to use version and it's also a local version of Google AI Studio. So you can import a variety of different models using Hugging Face and they will be loaded into their GUI here. They have different versions. You can use it on Mac or Windows or Linux, and depending on the size of your drive or your RAM, you can load even better or smaller models, or depending on your use case, instruct versus chat. Um, in this showcase, I'll be using Gemma 2B. It's a smaller model and it was also modified by the LM Studio community team, so it's smaller and it's faster to load. However, some models are also available in the Discover section that you can download, so it's not limiting. In this demo, I am going to ask Gemma some questions about this textbook. It is licensed and I got it from the SJSU library. However, since I am using a local model, it's not being uploaded to the internet, and so I'm interested in seeing how Gemma will look at this PDF. So first I asked it, hi, how can I help you today? And then I uploaded a textbook and I'd like to help get some insights, and I asked it, who is the author and publisher? It did not find the author and publisher, even though it was on the first page. And next question I asked it, can you give me a summary of any code examples, since this textbook is a book about code and has a lot of examples. And it did include code examples, so it did a good job. It said what kind of language is it in, and it also provided the section and the name of the game. So that was a really good response, and also provided citations. Next question I asked that what is the code example for the Blaster game in C #demonstrating, and it said based on the provided text assert, the Blaster game example demonstrates general game framework and menu scenes and other elements. This response, I think could have had more information. It was not that descriptive, but that might be due to the number of tokens that the Gemma 2B can use in its response or in its query. As you can see, the number of tokens that I used went over the cap limit that is on here. However, since this is a free to use version, there's no actual cap, so you can respond, or you can ask it as many questions as it can respond to. However, the response might be a little bit worse the more tokens you provide. This is not using all of the tokens. Next question I asked it, can you provide any steps to set up the Blaster game example code? So you can follow along with the book. The book does provide a GitHub link, so it should have found it. However, it didn't find it. So that might be due to that token cap that I just mentioned, where it's in the first couple of pages, like in the first 10 pages. And the Blaster game was actually on the 200th page. So it can search and query the PDF. So the size of the PDF is not necessarily an issue. However, it didn't find the link, and that might be to the keywords that I used, where I asked it any steps to set up the example code, but I didn't mention GitHub or link. So in the next question I asked, does it provide any reference to a GitHub download? This should have provided a better prompting, so the model could have done a better job. However, it did not find the link. So next question I asked it, there may be a GitHub download link mentioned on page 9, So I included the word link and page 9, so there are more references. It should have had a better job. And it still did not mention any reference to the GitHub download link on page 9. So again, this might be to the Gemma 2B being a smaller model, having less model weights. It's not really doing too much processing on the data. So I next asked it, I just copied the link and the specific section in the book where it was mentioned. So now it has a concrete reference. So instead of asking it, can you find me the link, I asked it, can you describe what is included in this link? Since it is related to what we just discussed about the game blaster, the game scenes, frameworks, the hashtag, and all of that. And now it did a better job, and I also asked it, can you provide any, in an earlier question I asked it, can you provide any information in step-by-step format, and it did so. It mentioned how this is a library of C code that you can download for game development in Unity using this link. So it took some prompting to get to this level where it is able to answer my question that I initially asked. And I had to provide actual reference to the section in the book. So yeah, this link is actually open access and free to use. So if you would like to use it, you can go ahead and use it. The book itself, however, is licensed, so you would need to find a way to access that book by yourself. And since this is a local model, uploading the book technically within my license, and I think that is a pro to using LM Studio, is that it is a local model application. So you can ask questions as much as you want and experiment with different models without hitting a usage cap like many models that are online. However, due to that, they're probably going to be not as up to date. So this is my showcase for LM Studio.